Do you ever find yourself chewing on things, contemplating, ruminating, and obsessively thinking about a challenge that has you buried in indecision? In this video, we'll be talking about how to break that cycle so that the endless mind chatter can finally settle down and you can be receptive of your inner guidance in peace. Yes, I'm going to give you a new challenge, an empowering challenge that I like to call 7 days to reboot your mindset. This podcast is all about helping you with your spiritual growth so that you can overcome obstacles and manifest your destiny to crystallize all things good, basically, to have success on life's journey. It's all about getting unstuck by unlocking your hidden power. So let's get started.
Hi there, and welcome. My name is Remy, like Do Re Mi. I'm a best-selling author and creator of the Get Unstuck Revolution. I help extraordinary women just like you dissolve the obstacles in your path so you can bring success to you. Now let's get started with today's video.
Okay, let me jump off the screen here and switch to my laptop. Today, we're talking about how to quieten monkey mind, how to navigate and turn off the intrusive thoughts that can sometimes make us crazy because it can be such a distraction, it can really get in the way of our success. If you'd like to see success in full abundance along life's journey, and if you're wanting to tap into a greater knowingness and align with the higher consciousness of your infinite self instead of the lower ego thinking and negative thoughts that push success away, then this is for you. It's time to be unabashedly, unapologetically, happily untethered to ego thinking. It's time to align with the higher energies of our soul's path instead. This episode is for you if you wonder how to deal with your deepest, darkest fears that want to ruminate inside your head, how to calm down the mind chatter so that you can be more receptive of your inner guidance, and how to reboot your mindset and not be so buried in anxiety and indecision. Yes, these episodes are about how to find your hidden power when you want to transform challenges into successes. I like to call it the audacity of alchemy, because when we're feeling stuck, it's never the situation that has us stuck. It's our energy about it that's become stuck in anxiety, overwhelm, doubts, worries, frustrations, indecision, and even anger. And often this is because of a spiritual injury that we've experienced, some kind of hidden trauma. So it isn't the pain of the situation, it's the pain of not being connected into the natural energy of who we really are, of being connected to that magical part of us that's a creative vibrational being who can use positive energies to create what we want and bring it into physical manifestation. We can allow our manifestations to materialize and not get stuck in the negative vibrations that block them. These positive energies that we talk about so much are where we find the magic of alchemy, because our choice of frequency, our choice of those positive thoughts and emotions can change the course of our journey. We sometimes find ourselves contemplating, ruminating, and obsessively turning cartwheels in our mind over a challenge. This is monkey mind or the ego mind, overwhelming us with those intrusive thoughts that can sometimes make us crazy. Our inner being doesn't want us to obsess endlessly over the situation in front of us. Our inner being simply wants us to think of positive possibilities. While we're looking at these possibilities, we're changing our energy from monkey mind to a place of joy and zen so that we aren't suffering through the stresses of obsessive thoughts. As we look at positive possibilities, it calms down monkey mind. Now, what I've discovered when working with so many clients who have this affliction, well, it's easier said than done. They often get the idea intellectually, but trying to navigate through life without falling prey to monkey mind can sometimes feel like an impossible chore, especially late at night when we're trying to sleep and the monkey has set up a jungle gym right there inside of our brain. Our monkey mind or our ego mind is trying to protect us from our deepest, darkest fears. So it literally starts screaming and jumping up and down like a monkey. Now, A lot of you know this about me. When I was growing up, too many years ago that I like to count, my mom raised monkeys. She had capuchin monkeys and squirrel monkeys and spider monkeys, and their bedroom was right next door to my bedroom when I was growing up. And they had a window that led out to this huge, oversized backyard cage. And I think they had as much square footage outside than we had inside. But my point is, I was very close to all their monkey antics. So when I first heard the term monkey mind, it really spoke to me. First of all, these monkeys would jump from one shelf to another. They would swing from one bar to the next. They would hang on one rope and switch to another and another and another. And during all this playtime, sometimes they would just stop and jump up and down right where they were and scream at the top of their lungs like they were crazed out on amphetamines. So, monkey mind can be very active and very distracting. And the negative thoughts that it thrives on is what causes us so much suffering. Let me say that again. It's our negative thoughts about our situation that causes our suffering. Our inner being doesn't want all that chitter chatter, but it wants us to focus on positive energies. Well, that can be nearly impossible when monkey mind is having a play date inside our head. All right. Like I say, we often understand this idea intellectually. We got the visual, right? But putting it into practicality becomes nearly impossible. So, what do we do? Well, one technique that I use is a mindset shift, and I like to call it 7 days to reboot your mindset because it isn't the situation we're in that's causing our suffering. It's our thoughts about it that causes our suffering. It's our thoughts that are playing on the monkey bars that are causing our suffering. But if we say that we're going to drop all negative thoughts, well, that takes an awful lot of discipline. It isn't impossible, but this 7 day reboot makes it a whole lot easier. All right. Now, the reason that I do this for 7 days is simple, really. I'm a Sagittarius, that's my birth sign, and Sagittarians don't like ambiguities. We don't like uncertainties. We generally don't have a lot of patience, and to sit and allow something to unfold can be terribly uncomfortable. Since Sagittarians are archers, we always have that bag of arrows on our backs, just looking for the target. And my mom used to say to me, "You archers, you just throw out 1,000 arrows a day and you know something will hit." And I would look at her with this puzzled look like, "Yeah, and your point is?" Okay, so as a Sagittarian, and like so many of you, I happen to like structure and framework. And I've discovered that a lot of my clients also like structure and framework. There aren't that many people on this planet who enjoy ambiguities, right? Now, imagine my surprise when I discovered this. Well, sometimes we think everything else is just like everyone else is just like we are, and other times we discover how different we all are. It's a mixed bag for sure. But if you're the kind of person who enjoys structure and framework, then I think you'll enjoy this 7 day reboot. The challenge is to drop negative thoughts for 7 days and focus on something positive. For 7 days, we're going to drop the negativity and nurture our positive thoughts. Now, for some of us, we may start with just 5 minutes and then we double it and double it again. Some of us, we want to start small. For some of us, we might make it a full day before monkey mind heads for the monkey bars again. It really all depends on where our habits are currently. If we have a chronic habit of negative thinking, it may take a little practice and discipline. That's why some of us use meditation. Meditation is a tried and true method for quieting fear based thoughts. It's not the only way to calm down these thoughts. Well, let me say it differently. There are different types of meditation, and it doesn't always mean closing our eyes and lying down. Sometimes we see monks doing walking meditations. Even chanting our affirmations can be meditative. The two forms that are probably the most common are focused attention and mindfulness. They both require focused attention, quite frankly. But with focused attention, we focus on one thing, usually our breath. When our mind wanders, we simply bring it back to the focus. And I think this is where affirmations can sometimes fall short. We can end up reciting them while we think about our kids and the bills and our meeting tomorrow morning. We aren't really focused. So, focused attention on our breath or holding our energy or vibration in one place can be helpful. it requires focus. The other form of meditation that's popular is mindfulness, where we watch our thoughts, just watch them and then let them go. It's like the martial arts move. When you feel a force coming towards you, you take a step back and let it pass you by, and the force loses its power. We can do the same thing with negative thoughts. So, different forms of meditation can offer both psychological benefits as well as neurological benefits. The end result is the same. We want to get the negative thoughts to be quiet and let the productive, more positive thoughts come to the forefront. Because here's the thing, positive thoughts are an accelerator. Positive thoughts are an accelerator, moving us toward what we want. They make our vision come to fruition much faster. Even if we don't have a vision or a best possible outcome in mind yet, it will reveal itself much faster if we don't constantly ruminate over the details. And that, well, it creates a little magic. So, positive thoughts are an accelerator. Now, what I like to do is to make it all the way through to a full 7 days before I consider the exercise complete. I like to make it through all the full 7 days before I consider the exercise complete. But I've had clients who make it 3 days and announce how easy the whole thing was. And then, well, surprise, surprise, monkey mind moves back in when they least expect it. So if you have a breakdown during the 7 days period, just get through it the best way you can and then reset and start all over again at day one. I found that it works best if you go 7 days all the way through. All right. I want to give you some tools on how to drop the negative thinking because monkey mind will usually fight you on this. Remember, it's trying to protect you from your darkest fears. So, monkey mind may make a stink about this exercise. Now, one of my favorite exercises here, and I'm putting this on the screen for you, is to find the positive. If you can find one positive, then you can find five. And if you can find five, you can find 10. And if you can find 10 positives, well, you can find 20. It could be 10 positives about your current situation or just 10 positives about this day. It could be 10 positives about your family pet or 10 positives about the cake you just baked. You get the idea. What we're doing is shifting the mindset, shifting the energy by finding the positive. Positive thoughts beget positive thoughts. Did you catch that? Positive thoughts beget positive thoughts. So once you start, it goes pretty easily, and then you'll start feeling the alchemy. This is one of your most valuable hidden powers when you can manage the positive energy flows. All right. Another favorite exercise is what I like to call the thesaurus mind map. What we do is we choose a positive word, then look it up in the thesaurus. We keep finding more similar words and make a little mind map out of it. As your mind looks at each positive word, it automatically calms down monkey mind. And I think the first time you try this, you just might be surprised. It just starts with one positive word. And so I call this the thesaurus mind map because your thesaurus is a really great tool for this. Now, to take this one step further, I have an exercise called the positivity expander. The positivity expander. Using one of those positive words that you just collected from the thesaurus, make up some positive sentences around that word. It could be in a circle, like it could be in a word cloud, or it could be a mind map, or it could just be a lateral list. Let's say, for instance, the word is harmony. Then you'd make up some sentences using the word harmony. Something like, all aspects of my life are in harmony. I live in total harmony with my true life purpose. My mind, body, and soul are in harmony. So, this is a positivity expander using one word, but then making up some positive sentences using that word. And what I'd like you to do is do about 20 sentences. And then you'll go back and repeat each sentence 3 times. The first time you say the positive sentence, it's just to settle into that thought. The second time you say it, breathe in universal light and love. Literally breathe in that positive word, whatever it is. The third time you say the positive sentence, breathe out light and love to those around you. In other words, radiate that positive thought or that positive sentence or that positive energy outward toward others. This is a positivity expander. This one exercise, by the way, is what I start with each and every day. I use a different word each day. Yesterday's word was, let me think, it was grace. Like I see all the beauty and grace around me. Today's word was non resistance, which I tripped over a little bit, just saying. But that's one thing I love about this exercise is that it can help pinpoint where our vibration and our frequency needs improvement. Because I've had some things recently that I just wanted to blow a raspberry at. And I could see where I needed to develop some non resistance and just let these situations go live somewhere else outside of my immediate reality. And so that's one way to use this positivity expander. Doing this exercise in the morning really sets the tone for the day. All right. My last exercise to help you drop negative thoughts are what I call my mantra movers. This is where we can use mantras to move the energy toward what we want. You may find that one or two of the positive sentences you've written from the previous exercise are really golden. They really spoke to you. They really felt good. And if so, one of these sentences may become your new mantra. Anytime you feel negative thoughts encroaching and the suffering moving back in, simply pull out that mantra and say it aloud several times. So I'll give you some of my favorites. I'm open to possibilities even greater than I've imagined. One of my favorite mantras. Another one that I use often is I lovingly receive the most benevolent outcomes in every area of my life. Another mantra that I told you guys about recently, universal energies are conspiring in my favor to bring about my deepest desires. And one that I use often when I'm out walking in the woods, life is unfolding just beautifully. So these kind of mantras or any kind of a sentence that really makes you feel good when you recite them really helps move the energy toward what we want. And that's why I call them my mantra movers. So these four exercises today were finding the positive or finding the blessings, the thesaurus mind map, where you take one word and then expand, find different words that are similar. And then positivity expanders, where you take one word and make up some different sentences about that word to expand that feeling of positivity. And the mantra movers, where you can find a mantra that when you recite it, you can feel it moving your energy. All right. So for 7 days, no negative thoughts, just focus on more positive things. Now, I'm going to tell you this may take a little practice and discipline, but now you have these four exercises to help you get there. And by the way, be sure that these positive sentences or these mantras that you write down have no contradictory thoughts to them. In other words, I'll give you an example. Maybe you feel like you're in a financial crunch and you write down massive amounts of money are coming to me now. And then your BS meter goes off and you'll start having counter thoughts that will be counterproductive to the exercise. So, what you want to do is find positive sentences that have no counter intention and no contradiction. And that'll help close the gap so that monkey mind has no place to go. Remember, monkey mind wants to argue, so it looks for something to argue with. So you might try a mantra something like, I allow endless possibilities for prosperity and happiness. See, monkey mind would have a little hard time arguing with that. Or prosperity, let's see, I'm inviting prosperity to fill and overflow in my life. I'm attracting everything I want in beautiful abundance. It's hard to create an argument against that. So monkey mind probably won't get very active. So you want to look for mantras that have no contradiction or counter thoughts. Make sense? All right. So for 7 days, no negative thoughts, correct them immediately if they come up, and just focus on the more positive things. And this is how you can use your hidden power to create the magic of alchemy. So that's the 7 day challenge to reboot your mindset and tame the monkey mind. And if you can do this, if you can find the positives, and if you can expand that positive frequency, you'll see that the solution you're looking for and the success you're looking for will come and find you as we empower ourselves towards self expression and who we are at our core without these negative thoughts and emotions and monkey mind that can drain us. We're making a choice toward a higher frequency, higher and better thoughts, because our choice of frequency, our choice of more positive emotions changes the course of our journey. So, reflecting back on everything we covered today, how can you apply what you've learned? Do you feel like you can turn your mindset around in the next 7 days? Well, I hope this helps you as you're using the powers of alchemy to transform challenges and obstacles into positive new successes. This podcast is all about helping you have success on your spiritual growth journey. It's all about getting unstuck by unlocking your hidden power. If you still can't get your head around what's got you stuck in life or in business, you can tell me about it. You can send me a question to questions at unlockyourhiddenpower.com, or you may not know that you can schedule a one-on-one session with your own personal unstuckologist, that's me, by visiting instantbreakthroughsession.com. This private session is designed to help you tap into your greatest resource, that's you, and together we can make quite a team toward calling in the transformational powers of alchemy. In our time together, we'll uncover your single biggest stuck point, and we'll also go over the most genius way to create clarity so you can just move forward while one obstacle after another is obliterated. And we'll create a strategy to get you moving in a really good direction, the one that's aligned with your life purpose. If this sounds like a match made in heaven, you can hop on over to instantbreakthroughsession.com right now and book the time slot that works best for you. Well, thanks for joining me today, and I'm wishing you a life filled with all the alchemy you need to bring success to you. Feel free to share this video with anyone you know who's feeling stuck, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.